Miao. Welcome to my video. Today is another day to be a tour guide. And the couple contacted me through email. They are from England. And today we are going to the Tiananmen Square and the Forbidden City. Yeah, the routine. and I think we'll have a pleasant day together. But today is very cold and windy. I hope it won't affect our trip. And their hotel is very good. This is the first time I know this hotel in a narrow hutong in around the Tiananmen area. Wow, but not so chaos. Look at the buildings. Wow, it's good location. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, just finishing breakfast.
Yeah, please finish. Hi, hello. Hi. Nice to meet you.
I know you.
Yeah, from video. About 15th century.
Okay.
Yeah, and at that time, Yuan Shikai want to be the emperor again. He didn't want the republic.
Yes.
Yeah, he want to be the emperor again. Yeah, and the general with the singer, and he opposed him. Yeah, he want to fight against him and to keep the republic. Yeah, and the Yuan Shikai put him into the house and surveillance under the surveillance of him. Yeah, and the singer saved the general. Yeah. He, the singer said to Yuan Shikai, "Yeah, we have the romance, and we want to hang around in Beijing."
Wow.
Yeah,
So
and
this is a famous story.
yeah, famous story. Yeah, that's why she became very famous. Yeah, not only because of the romance, because the generals has many romance relationship.
I think so.
Yeah, but she saved him, and then they escaped to Tianjin, and then go to the Japan, and then the general and her come back, and then
A concubine, is that a Chinese term or Japanese term? Concubine.
Chinese term. The emperors had many, but at that time the period they lived, they are the republic period, so no concubines anymore, only mistress, mistress.
She's Thai lady in our hotel.
The square in the world, yeah, largest. One of another one is the Red Square in Russia. Yeah.
Colder than
No, I was thinking that. Yeah, they got the
because the sun helped.
Yeah.
I thought I'm gonna put the hat on.
So the oldest structure or items in the Tiananmen Square is this one, the columns, because it's made of marble, so it's not very easy to damage, not afraid of fire. So that's the columns from 1420.
Really?
Yeah, the Qing dynasty, Qing dynasty, the columns and the square like this. Yeah.
In my picture.
Look at interfere the politics anymore. But yeah, he never fulfilled his promise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's for treasure hall. Jewelry, gold, silver decorators, yeah. Coral. Yeah, coral. Yeah. On the stone, not himself, not the writer himself. Yeah. But after her son become the emperor, she become the empress dowager. Yeah, that's why even the emperor, empress, powerful lady, they all have the small value. Yeah, it's our way to prevent ghosts. He's an emperor, but he cannot protect anyone. Yeah. So they just show the way it is. Yeah. Next, we are going to eat the hot pot. In a chat, I happened to find out that today was Ivan's birthday, so I quickly ordered a cake and took him to a very special restaurant. It's not just a place to eat hot pot. Something else is going to happen there. And what's that? Keep watching.
Today.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool because I don't have my sunglasses. No cool.
And the sesame paste. That's our sauce, the sesame.
I like this one. should have more pepper. This one somewhere.
The meat had no flavor, just the meat flavor. Yeah, just for the hot pot. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
No, you can just
Eat.
Englishman to eat.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! 谢谢birthday! Oh, yeah, no, not scratch. It's the massage.
Oh,
Yeah. She thought you travel in China, you must be walk around. So
that's amazing.
Something song. It's kind of younger people's birthday song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the lyric is say travel, bye bye. Say bye bye to travel. And say happiness, hi. Yeah, say hi to yeah.
辣不？2分钟就可以哈。
So this is your second day in Beijing. So what's the first impression about Beijing?
First impression, because we came out from our hutong, so we're in the very, very small street. So I got the impression that this was the old part of Beijing.
Beijing, yeah.
But in the background, you could see taller buildings.
Yeah.
So we just stayed in the hutong last night, had something to eat, and walked for a bit. But then came back to the hotel. So this is our first full day.
Yeah.
And of course, we've had a lovely full
Yeah.
day on a tour with Miao. So, and we've had some lovely food.
Yeah.
I think everything impression here. Whatever you doing today,
Yeah.
very good.
Why you choose Beijing as your destination?
Because the forbidden, what's that? The palace.
The palace, because
The palace.
you watched a lot of TV series,
Yes,
so
I
to see the
Great
palace.
Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And history,
I
yeah.
always
History, yeah.
want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. History.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's it not like as you imagine? Yeah, you imagine, but in Beijing you think, oh, it's totally different from what you thought. Is there anything so far?
I think people have visions of Chinese cities as these tower blocks everywhere and just lights up at night.
No, that's not.
No, it's not so much here.
Yeah.
And it's a bit more kind of traditional.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's like other places like Shanghai
Yeah.
are just like that.
Yeah.
But this is more sort of old world, and that's
Yeah.
just what we wanted because
Yeah.
there's a lot of history here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're enjoying that.
Yeah. And one question I'm so curious. Yeah, Beijing's retired people, retired seniors, they always choose to help their children to taking care of their grandchildren. Yeah, they don't travel a lot. In fact, yeah, they want to help their help their children to the next generation. What about England?
No, I think they must look after the grandchildren. No, it's different culture for Asia.
Yeah.
Grandchildren
Yeah.
tend to help their children to look after the grandchildren.
Yeah, yeah,
Look after like a little second mom, like a mom.
yeah,
But not in England.
yeah.
England, you said when you marry, they organize their own family. Sometimes the grandparents. Sometimes they helping like a babysit.
Oh, they do, yeah.
Yeah,
They do.
but not
No, they do.
not look after all the time. Not like
Oh.
that. No, not
When they're
look
at
after.
work, or they take them to school, drop them to school.
Not
But
don't do it.
if the problem in China is if the parents they are both at work, nobody will take care of their baby. So they have to ask their parents to help, the grandparents to help.
Yeah, we get a lot of state help.
Yeah.
So you get free nursery places.
Nursery.
Free
We send them-
nursing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
free
send it to
nursery
the nursery.
Nursery in Beijing is very expensive.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, it's free. So grandparents, their role is normally just take the kids to school, and then they can go home and do what they want.
Yes.
Even the little baby, I mean.
Yeah, they have nursery places from, I don't know,
Yeah, very
2,
young,
3
very
years old.
baby. Not just 3 years old.
Oh,
Baby.
3 years
Baby.
old.
Yeah,
Even
nursery.
babies.
Oh.
Even baby.
Even
When
baby.
the parents,
Ah.
yeah, both parents work, the baby is in there maybe 5 months old. You can just give it to send to the nursery, but you pay more.
And
Yeah, you
they
pay.
get, people at work will get time off as well. I think women now can have a year
A year?
off. Yeah.
After new baby.
I think it depends what companies you work in, but more and more. I think they're guaranteed 6 months.
No.
Of work.
Yeah, the companies will pay a year,
Yeah.
and the fathers as well can get time off.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very good over there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So the state takes care of a lot.
Oh.
So grandparents don't need to take responsibility,
Not as much.
not as much, except they're being asked to put you look after the baby for 1 day or something like that.
Something like
No,
that.
we don't take that
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah. That's
good.
totally different situation.
We just enjoy with them for 1 day and then give it back.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
some parents, they can help like pick them up from the school. In the morning. The parents
Yeah.
take them to the nursery.
Yeah.
It's more
And
that,
then something like that, small
Yeah.
things.
it's more that grandparents are not compelled to help with the children or look after them. The state will take care. Women are given time off once they've had a child, and men as well are given more paternity leave.
Yeah.
So they're not compelled, but they just want to.
Yeah.
Most grandparents want to. Yeah, because it's a joy.
Yeah. And one character about Chinese parents is they are so anxious about the grandchildren. If you two get married, but you don't want to child, that's crazy for them. They will put pressure on this family. You have to give birth to your child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that you have 4 children, but you don't have grandchildren. You know urge them to have children.
No.
No.
The most important thing was the education and further education. So lots of them are professionals. So that takes a long time
Yeah.
to become qualified in what they're doing. So once they've done that, they're in the mid to late 20s. And then no, we don't encourage them to get married young. We didn't marry till we were
Yeah.
33.
No, we don't force any children
Yeah,
to
so it's
get
up to them
married.
in their own
Up to
time.
them. When
Of
they
course, we
let
would. We'd love them to have,
Yeah.
because we're getting old now. So
Yeah.
I'd like to have grandchildren where I can still
we
kick a football with them.
Yeah, we can't say anything to them about that.
No, I
We
wouldn't.
won't do it.
No,
Not
okay.
like Asian parents. Oh, when you gonna get married? Even arranged marriage is there arranged thing like that.
Yeah.
I just talked to you about here. I saw in YouTube the one day like they like advertise their daughter or son who want to marry them. This is my daughter. Graduate from there, she worked there like that. And then in the park
In the park. Yeah.
Advertising, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Match corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matchmaking.
Matchmaking. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Their parents do that. Their parents. Maybe the children didn't know that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
that's
like the resume of their child, and they exchange. Yeah. To select for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he said
Not in England.
Yeah.
one parent mom. My daughter, she's always work. She doesn't have time to meet
Yeah.
that guy or thing, So she worry about she not gonna get married. That's why she
Yeah.
advertise her daughter this, how she look and then how she good, something like that.
Yeah.
In the park, lots of them.
Yeah.
Show the pictures and then the guy, a man, a woman will look, or the parents
Yeah.
look they're looking for somebody for their son
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
daughter as well.
Yeah.
I don't know where is it.
You don't know
not
why.
in England.
Not in Beijing somewhere.
No, in Beijing also.
Is it there?
Yeah.
The park?
Yeah, in the park.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
What arranged marriages?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were not arranged marriage,
Introduction.
arranged meet.
Introduction.
Yeah, introduction.
They
Introduction. Yeah.
advertise the degree of and then they meet up.
Yeah.
Chinese culture before, in the
Yeah.
past, they like a big family. The more you have children, the more before there. Yeah.
I think even now.
Really?
But government,
Yeah. What?
No.
the government,
not now.
not now. The government say you have to do one child, two child.
No, it's open. No, open.
Yeah.
No. The government want us have more children.
No
Now,
children
yeah,
now.
because we also lack of population. We also lack of labor. Yeah, next generation. So,
Population.
but not this generation.
Like
Next
3 billion.
is the
No,
future.
before that is dropping there.
But people, the labor age, they can work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the government is so anxious. They encourage people to have birth,
Oh.
2 children now. Yeah, that one child policy for my mom's generation.
Yes.
Yeah, not our generation. Yeah, now people, the government want because too many seniors, not too many juniors. Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Japan, they have a problem with senior people, old people.
Boomers.
Too many.
Japan's now is our future, China's future, about the population. Japan also is facing this severe problem.
They say that.
Yeah, that's our
Too
future.
many old people.
Yeah.
That's just the corporations telling you that. Because they want more consumers, that's all.
But we have robots in the future. We don't need so many people. This was such a wonderful day for us. Ivan and Tai, we miss you so much and hope to see you again someday. And also, if you are watching this and ever come to Beijing, feel free to contact me if you need a tour guide.